Yeah, I mean, I'm excited. It's the start of another season, and this event continues to grow and get better and more efficient. And our basketball team, as everybody knows, we've got a number of new faces on our squad, and the guy next to me is one of the returners, 5 returners, and some new faces. And it's never boring. It's different challenges each year, and I know a lot of you aren't familiar with our players, other than the guys I mentioned. And you can just rest assured that we got some guys that can play a little bit and are excited, and have an opportunity to, in this case, hopefully exceed some expectations. But we're going to continue to do what we've done. This is year 6 at Utah. And regardless of whether we're being picked 12th or 1st or whatever the case might be, we pretty much stay in a short-term mindset and try to grind and get a little better every day. And that's what we're going to continue to do, and we're looking forward to the season.
Okay, first question on the left in the second row.
Brian Gorski, Bear Territory.net, Scout.com. What are you expecting out of Jace Johnson? He came in midseason for you last year. What are you expecting out of him this year?
Well, Jace Johnson, he's a very intriguing player. I mean, there's not many kids, and Kyle can attest to this, 7 feet, a lot of 7-footers. I don't know how much they truly love the game. I think a lot of times big guys are playing because somebody's told them that they're supposed to be playing. But Jace is extremely passionate about it. He's one of the hardest working guys, even in the short period of time I've been around him, that I've coached. It's never going to be an effort thing for Jace. Kind of a bull in the china closet a little bit. Been doing a tremendous job of rebounding in our practice setting, and going to have to figure out the foul issue. Gets a little aggressive and through some of that enthusiasm, but he's great to have. It's hard to coach 7 foot, and he's extremely coachable. He's getting better, and I think he's got an extremely bright future, especially if you look at maybe the last 2 months. We've seen a lot of growth and development in the last 2 months of this season. So good things, I think.
Go to Kyle on the left in the back row.
Kyle Goon, Salt Lake Tribune. Kyle, I was wondering, I know Pac-12 play is a ways off, but how do you kind of try to tell the newcomers about the intensity level, the speed, and some of the things they have to be ready for by the time conference play rolls around?
I think one thing that I try to stress to the new guys is just it's a whole different demon of the Pac-12 season. A lot of these guys are coming from junior college, or they're freshmen, or even transfers. That's just the biggest thing, that you can't take plays off in the Pac-12 because it can sting you. And some of the courses of last year, we've seen that. So.
The questions are on the far right, 4th row.
Josh Furlong, KSL.com. Larry, it seems like you have more outside shooters this year as opposed to maybe the last, where you fed the ball a little bit more into Jakob or some other bigs. Is your offensive scheme set to change this year, or what is your offensive scheme coming into that mindset?
Well, I mean, we've got a couple basic offenses that we've been running, that we have run since we've been here. I think part of the responsibility of us as coaches, I can't say we're a basketball program that has a system that goes out and recruits players to that system. I think what we've done is you try to recruit the best players you can get and put them in positions where they can be successful. And I don't think much is going to change with that. You can remember DeLon was a key player for us, and we put the ball in his hands and put DeLon right in this situation where we thought he could, not only do well for himself, but that would lead to wins for the Utes. And then we lost DeLon, and we had to kind of do the same thing with Jakob, and the focal point became to throw the ball inside. And, so we're at that situation a little bit. As I told our team the other day, we haven't called any special plays. We're kind of grinding it out, very vanilla right now within our offense, our motion offense, continuous pick and roll offense, ball moves. It helps your defense. And then as we start making some progress here, we'll put guys like Kyle and Lorenzo and other players within our program in some special plays. But Josh, our program. We're going to execute. That's always going to be a non-negotiable, whatever the play might be. And we're going to share the basketball. We've done a nice job with our assist rates, leading the conference the last few years, and field goal percentage. So those will be things that stay consistent, and it's going to have a few different wrinkles to it with some different people creating the production.
Okay, we'll go to Casey here on the left.
Casey Jacobson with Pac-12 Network and FS1. Kyle, congratulations on a tremendous sophomore season. I thought you did a really nice job of complimenting Jakob Poeltl in the post. Now with Jakob in the NBA, how will you specifically adjust your game this season?
Well, this offseason I've been working pretty hard, and I take a lot of pride in my work ethic and trying to evolve my game. And, the biggest thing that Coach K has been talking to me about is trying to get my teammates involved more. And, I think that will benefit us a lot. It's no secret we have 12 new guys, and I'm going to have a lot of attention because I'm one of the only returners. So, if I can make it easier for them, then it'll be easier for me too. So.
Time for one more. We'll go to Ryan on the right in the third row.
Hey, Coach. Ben Parker from GoldenBearReport.com Rivals Network. Back-to-back years, you guys have had two players selected in the first round, and both for the Toronto Raptors, ironically enough. But can you talk about just how much it helps your program to have guys get drafted high from a visibility standpoint, from a recruiting standpoint, to see guys succeed and become first-round picks out of your program?
Yeah, I've been asked that question before, and I can honestly say that the biggest joy with that scenario comes from knowing that two young men reach their dream, more so than how it helps our program. Everybody wants to reach the pinnacle of their profession, and not many can. And if you know DeLon's background and his sacrifices, and then to watch him grow not only as a basketball player but as a student athlete, getting his degree and hitting it out of the park his last semester when he could have kind of wandered off into the NBA ground and never got his degree, or certainly he got 6 A's his last semester while he was traveling all over the country. So, and then Jakob, knowing how much he progressed after 2 years. And when players come to our program, we talk about two guarantees. We talk about them getting their degree, and we talk about them reaching their potential. We don't talk about them making the NBA or anything like that, but kind of trust the process that if they go about their business, whether it's 2 years in Jakob's case, 4 years in somebody else's case, that you're giving you're putting in an honest day's work consistently. And we take a lot of pride in the fact that those guys did that, and it can be done. I think that's something a young man looks for when he's being recruited. They all want to be in the NBA. And so if you've got a couple guys on your resume that you can validate that, it certainly helps. But it's not nearly as important as how cool it was for those two and watching those two grow.